I love ramen. So last night I took my parents to the airport because they're on the way to Japan. And while I was a little bit jealous, I'm also really happy that they're going to spend a few weeks out in my favorite country. But after that, it just kind of reminded me of all the things that I missed about it. And one of those things is my favorite food of all time, which is Japanese-style ramen. I know that I've featured ramen a few times in vlogs as a side thing, but this week I want to talk about ramen as a whole and dedicate the entire episode to why I love it. I love ramen so much that this is the second day in a row that I've eaten it. I love ramen so much that I can eat it when it's freezing cold or when it's baking hot. I have books about ramen. I have manga about ramen. I even have a ramen journal and an Instagram where I keep track of all the ramen that I try. It's good. At this point in my life, I've had hundreds of bowls, some in Japan, some here in America, and it's just always been my favorite food since I was 13 or 14. So I just want to get into that, dedicate this episode to my favorite food, and hopefully you guys understand why I love it so much. Now, when people hear ramen, I imagine most people are thinking of this packaged top ramen stuff. And although this does have a place, it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Japanese-style ramen. And although it didn't 100% originate in Japan, it's definitely been made popular there. And I think it's for two reasons. One, there are so many different ways to prepare it. Japan is a culture that's so steeped in tradition that a lot of their dishes are very strict, and there's only one way to prepare them. But with ramen, there's so many different variations, so many different styles of ramen, so many different ways to make it and eat it. So with ramen, you can get really creative, and there's always a different type of bowl that you can try and enjoy. And two is that ramen is a comfort food. It is salty, it's fatty, it has umami in it. It has so many different components and flavors that make eating a bowl of ramen incredibly enjoyable. And I'm going to kind of show you guys how I put one together here. Okay, so ramen is made up of 5 basic ingredients. Your broth, your tare, or the salt component that flavors your broth, your noodles, your oil/fat component, and also your toppings like your chashu, your menma, or your green onions, your negi. And when those components are all crafted and combined properly, you have yourself a bowl of ramen. Now, obviously, just because you have those 5 ingredients and you combine them in a bowl won't automatically mean it's going to be good. It takes an expert or somebody with general knowledge to be able to prep those separate ingredients carefully and combine them with the right temperature, measurements, and time. I'm not an expert, but I know a little bit about it. Now, what I love about ramen is the fact that it takes these 5 completely different ingredients, expertly prepared and combined at the right time to create this bowl of harmony, right? And it takes those 5 ingredients to hold the balance of the bowl together so that every single bite you take, you can taste each layer of it. And a good bowl of ramen doesn't let one of those components outshine the other. And when you get it just right, each layer is perfect in its own way. And when you get to the end of the bowl, is by far the best part is that you can feel it in your body, and you have this full body experience where you just feel satisfied at the end of it. Now, I'm not saying that is the feeling that everybody gets, and I can't imagine there are a lot of people in the world that do feel that after eating just a bowl of ramen. But I think that everybody feels that way about something. And if you know what that thing is, it makes 100% sense to pursue it. Now, I'm not going to say that after all these vlogs and at the end of my journey, happiness is as simple as a bowl of ramen. But if it is, that's pretty good. That's pretty close. But anyway, thanks for tuning in to my ramen vlog this week. Hope you guys got a little bit of insight into why I enjoyed so much. But otherwise, that's this week's vlog. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.